I have an echo or a countdown music was going. I don't know. I don't know what that was. But hello. Oh, it's an echo. There we go. I fixed it. Sorry. Sorry about that. I pulled a Captain Jack. um, hello, Uncle Lisa. You were first. First. Uncle Lisa from Finland. Okay, how late is it over there? I forgot to brush my hair. I'm going to be real professional here and brush my hair on stream. Okay, it was driving me nuts. Sorry. Hey, Thrifty Angela. We have Christina Bell. We have Roy and Becky's Travels. Hello and welcome. Yeah, Uncle Lisa, what time is it? Where you're at? What time of night? So, on Sunday, I took a vote. It's 3 a.m. Uncle Lisa. Jeez. Well, thank you for being here. I took a vote on Tuesday or Sunday about whether or not I should do a stream tonight to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and the case. I can't stop watching it, and I feel guilty watching it. Anybody else feel guilty watching it? Here's why I feel guilty. Because until Amber Heard pulled all of this stuff with Johnny Depp lived a very private life. Like, he was mysterious. People didn't know a whole lot about him, right? But then all of this stuff happened, and now he's in court, and he knew going to trial that it was going to be televised and everybody was going to hear everything. And that's what he wanted, because even if he doesn't win the trial, at least hopefully he would win the public opinion, which is, I think, what is happening. What do you all think? Do you think that's what's happening? Hey, Emily. Oh, I'm so excited to see you here. Everybody, give Emily some extra love in the chat. Give her some hugs and some love. She lost one of her fur babies today, and she could use some extra love over there. So everybody give her some lovin's. But yeah, so Johnny knew doing this trial this way that all of his business would be out there, but hopefully he would win the public opinion at least. But I do find it heartbreaking that a man that had gone so many years in Hollywood maintaining his privacy, which is really hard to do. There's very few actors and actresses that have maintained such privacy. Now everything's out there. And I find that a little bit heartbreaking, and it makes it a little bit hard for me to watch because I feel like I'm invading in his life. That makes sense? Anybody else feel that, or is that just me? Thrifty Angela said, yep, he did not try to get into the public eye. He liked his privacy, and I respected that. Agreed. But people had to know the truth, is what I was thinking he was thinking. Yeah. Something kind of interesting came out today. Now, today is the one day that I didn't get to watch anything. I did come home after I got done doing a bunch of my running around and watched a few clips to try to see what I missed, or if anything came out that I would need to catch up on that we could talk about today, that happened today. And I did find something very interesting that we'll take a look at here in a few minutes. But I want to kind of start at the beginning, and then work our way to what came out today. So you missed today too, Thrifty Angela? Well, I got a little bit of tea for today. I did manage to find something. I think she might have sunk her ship all on her own. But we'll take a look at it in a minute here. My kids played hooky today, so we all just chilled. Oh, that sounds nice. Well, I joined a gym. Yeah. I joined the gym. I'm not jogging, okay? I'm still not jogging. I told everybody a long time ago I ain't going to be running nowhere unless there is a murderer. Nope. Nope. I even said if there was a murderer or a clown chasing me with a knife, I still wouldn't be running anywhere. So, no, I'm not jogging or anything. I'm walking, lifting a few weights. They have a little tanning bed and a massage water bed thingy there that massages you with water jets, and a sauna. So I have been on an adventure all week going to the gym every day. And I'm loving it. Actually, I feel like I have more energy. I had been a part of a gym several years ago. And I stopped because my health got so bad that I really couldn't do it. And then things have been a little bit better lately. And I also needed to kind of get my head a little more clear. And the gym really helps with that. And so, yeah, I joined the gym. So I've been at the gym listening to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. But today I had some extra running around. I got my nose thing changed out and just different stuff like that. So I wasn't able to pay as much attention as usual. You joined the gym and I bought an elliptical. Oh, awesome. I can't jog anymore. My knees can't take it. I remember you saying you jogged, Thrifty Angela. I remember you saying that. An elliptical is really good. That ought to be fun for you to get back into. That's very much like jogging, except for really good on your knees. So that ought to be fun. I can't wait to hear how you're enjoying that in about a month. But yeah, Emily, how are you hanging in there this afternoon? How are you doing? If you're still over there in the chat, let me know how you're doing. I've been thinking about you all day. It's such a hard thing to go through. All right, so let's back up to the beginning. Only time you'll see me run is if someone's chasing me. That's what Roy and Becky said. You know what, Roy and Becky? I started to say that, but I think the honest to God truth is if somebody's chasing me, they can have me. I don't even think I'm going to run if someone's chasing me. I hate running. I hated it in elementary school. I hated running. I still hate it. I don't even like walking long distances, if I'm being honest, on an incline. Flat walking isn't so bad, but yeah, there's no way I'm running. Sadly, being asthmatic, it wouldn't be a long run. Oh, I'm doing okay, trying my best. Well, big hugs. I know that's all I've really been able to say today, but man, I know what it's like, and sending my love, honestly. All right. So, oh yes, we want to talk about that. Uncle Lisa wants to talk about the psychologist, the expert witness psychologist, Johnny Depp's expert witness psychologist with the blonde, messy hair. He fell in love. He's in love with her. And I agree. I think I might be a little bit in love with her as well. She was very intelligent. She's absolutely gorgeous. She fielded their questions like, okay, the other counsel is idiots. Okay. Amber Heard's counsel is idiots. He objected. One of her lawyers objected to his own question. He asked the question and he objected to his own question. What is that? Like, hello. Not very good thing. But anyway, the psychiatrist, she was able to field their questions and very eloquently be like, when they kept bouncing questions at her and wanting her to give answers in a short way that would give into what they wanted, she was able to not do that in such a beautiful way. It was like watching art, word arts on the screen. It was really cool. But Uncle Lisa does not know why everyone says it's a meme now. And everyone says that the psychologist is married to the Muffin Man. Does anyone else know why they say that that psychologist is married to the Muffin Man? If you know, put it in the comment section. He doesn't look very bright. Oh, Rottenbaum. That's what the Rottenbaum's the one that asked or objected to his own question. And the lady lawyer, oh, she's even like rude to the judge. Okay, the way that we're seeing and viewing this, the jury is viewing it. So the jury is viewing these lawyers the same way we are. The jury is watching them and thinking they're idiots. You know what I mean? That's not good. Uncle Lisa, that's horrible. Yeah. Well, yeah, didn't he bring baked goods? There we go. Okay, so Amber Heard's lawyers tried to make a really big deal out of something really simple. So the psychologist was on the stand, and Amber Heard's lawyer said, weren't you so excited that you were going to be working with Amber Heard that you told your husband that you were going to be working with Amber Heard? And he went and bought Amber Heard muffins. And the psychologist was like, can I explain what happened with these muffins so that we don't have to continue to talk about these muffins? And the lawyer was like, no. Didn't you, in fact, tell your husband? And she was like, let me explain the muffins so that we don't have to talk about the muffins anymore. And she went on to say that she does celebrity clients on a regular basis, and that she did not say that she was going to be doing Amber Heard, but that when she does a celebrity client, everyone else in the office leaves the office so that she can have the office to her and just the celebrity client for privacy reasons. And when that happens, her husband noticed that that was happening and said, can I go pick up some muffins for you and your client? He didn't know what client in particular. He just knew that she was going to be having a celebrity because she had emptied out her office of all the rest of the employees. But Amber Heard and her big head thought that the muffins were for her. So he's known as the Muffin Man. Hey, Chrissy Mama. Hello, hello. Yeah, how stupid was that to bring it up? That's what they've been doing with this whole case, right? Is bringing up like stupid things that don't really make that big of a difference. Like, yes, Johnny Depp does, who knows, drugs and alcohol. Okay. However, Amber married him and they had drugs and alcohol at their wedding. Like, that was what was served and what they were doing at the wedding. That was the party. The wedding was fueled with drugs and alcohol. She knew what she was marrying. That was no surprise. But the way that they're trying to paint her, even though it's been talked about that the wedding was that, the way they're trying to paint her is as if she didn't do drugs, even though multiple different times it's in text messages and on recordings that she did drugs too. So how can you say he's this drug addict and alcoholic and etc. when she's doing the same thing? I'm confused. It doesn't make sense to me. Yep. She thought they were all for her. She's really all into herself. She is. Yeah, but Johnny Depp has never hid that he drank and did drugs. Yeah, she knew what she was marrying. Yeah, she was making it sound like she wanted to fix him. Which, oh, okay. Coming from someone who has been in a very toxic relationship, okay? There are books written about toxic relationships, abusive relationships, etc. And they kind of explain what women are thinking or what men are thinking when they're in those relationships and why they make the decisions that they make. There's books written so that if you're in a relationship like that, you can read that book, relate to it, and understand why you made some of the choices you made. The things that Amber Heard is saying is almost textbook words of what is in these books. However, the actions don't match the words. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining that really well, but for instance, she said she was scared of him because he was abusing her, right? Yet instead of trying to get away, she said, I wanted him to see me. I wanted him to see what he had done to me. Any person that has been abused does not want someone to see them when they are in a rage. They want to get away. They don't want to be harmed again. They want out of harm's way. So what she was, it didn't make sense. A lot of the stuff she's saying, it doesn't make sense. Hearsay. Her lawyers probably had her read them before trial. I would agree. Self-centered can do no wrong. She contradicts herself a lot, very much so. Something I also found very, very strange is Johnny, from what we've seen in this trial, is surrounded by people that have been with him for decades, not years, decades. The people that have been with him for decades. If he was a tyrant, if he was abusive, if he was horrible, if he was this monster that she's describing, people would not stay around. No matter how much he paid them, no matter how much he gave them, if he was a tyrant, a monster, he would not have so many people that have been with him for decades. He wouldn't have ex-wives, or not ex-wives, ex-partners that are coming out of the woodwork going, that's not true. I was with him for 14 years. Vanessa, she was with him for 14 years and mothered 2 of his children. And she said, there is no way that he did any of this, that he's the most gentle, humble human being ever. So I don't know how he goes from that to being what Amber Heard is trying to paint him as. Shanna Craft, happy Friday. Popping in for a while. Fix a bite to eat. What are you fixing to eat? What you having for dinner? And the way she describes in detail each time he abused her is too detailed. I know a few people who were abused, and they have all said they remember, but not like that. I think most of you that are in here kind of know that my past is rough. And you guys have seen me try to touch on it a few times. And it's not something that's easy to do. Do I remember a lot? I do. Do I remember the color shirt or the bottle or, these tiny little particular details of everything? Absolutely not. But even the details that I do remember, retelling it is embarrassing that I allowed that to happen to me, or that happened to me, or that I was in a position that happened to me. So retelling it isn't something that I'm so well scripted. She's so well scripted in being able to retell it, and it doesn't fare well for her. Something else to go along with that is, and I think I have the video pulled up that we're going to watch here in just a second. But when you watch the other lawyers, so she's testifying now, right? And Johnny's lawyers are objecting left and right. Objection, hearsay, objection, hearsay, so on and so forth, constantly, which is good, because what we're getting to see is she's telling these stories and she's trying to cry and she's trying to do these emotions. But as they're objecting, she's immediately stopping crying and getting annoyed. If she was truly in like a shocked and emotional state from retelling this horrific abuse, those tears would not stop. She would not be able to stop and restart the tears, stop and restart the tears every time there's a hearsay and we're going to watch in just a second. But I find that very telling, very, very telling. She almost seems happy to retell her story. Let me get a drink, and then I kind of have something to say about that. So have you ever, any of you, ever heard of someone who had some trauma, whether it be they were severely sick or abused as a child? They went through something traumatic in life. And because of that traumatic incident, they got attention from it. And because of that traumatic event and that attention they got, they don't really recover from that. So they go on to create more drama, because that's what they're used to, first of all. And second, they know that they can get love and attention because that's what they got before when they had that. So they really did have something bad happen to them. But in that bad situation, they gained some love, and so they learned a bad behavior, which would be that the only way to gain that love is to have more bad things happen. And to me, it kind of seems that is what Amber has based her life off of, if you look at her history. And this is all my opinion. It's all hearsay, as Uncle Lisa says. Hearsay. My opinion. Crocodile tears for sure. She's an actress. A bad one, but still one. She's terrible actress. I would have thought she would be better up there on the stand. I really did. I thought she was going to put on a better show, but she has not. So let's go over here. I'm going to pull up. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the videos watching earlier where it's objection, objection, objection. And we're going to see how quickly her tears just disappear. They just go away. Why is history not showing up on here anymore? Well, one second. There it is. All right, let me see if I can find it. All right. This one is a minute long. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen with us. And we're gonna, I laugh now every time she cries. Her faces are hilarious. They are. Well, wait until you see how quickly her face goes from crying to normal with these objections. It is absolutely ridiculous. All right. Make this big.
There come a time that you did move in with him.
Objection
Hold on.
leading.
Let me go back. All right. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And let's watch how quickly she changes expressions.
Objection calls for speculation and hearsay.
There come a time that you did move in with him.
Objection leading. Your Honor, I'm going to object on hearsay.
He's my co-star.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Objection, hearsay. Her communications are hearsay.
I tried to say that it was fine.
Objection,
that
hearsay.
I found out that he was in a hotel room with Paul Bettany.
Objection, hearsay.
Did you have with Lily Rose without saying anything she said?
Objection, hearsay. Objection leading.
If we approach and then your kid's in the car on the street, you need to
Objection,
move it.
hearsay. That calls for hearsay, Your Honor.
When he finished filming, the plan was to do the
Objection,
full
Your Honor,
detox.
hearsay. Objection, form, compound.
Which color is underneath the other?
Objection calls for speculation.
Yes.
Objection, form, lack of foundation.
I was in such shock and
Objection,
didn't-
Your Honor, non-responsive. Objection, form, compound.
I'll allow it, but just trying to keep the record clear. 272 has already been entered into evidence without that redactions, and there wasn't any objection. So if I can have both sides to keep track of their evidence, it's not my job to keep this. It's really the party's responsibility to take care of the record, not mine.
My apologies on that one, Your Honor.
So, did you see how her face just was like, I don't know. You could tell she was not having it. She was like trying to cry and then she was pissed. Trying to cry and then pissed. I thought that was pretty entertaining and pretty telling. I watched the part where John talks about watching his dad go through abuse. So I'd say he's had a rough life. I agree. And even though he watched his dad go through abuse from his mother, he still took care of his mother in the end. And that is very telling of his personality. If he was an abuser, if he became an abuser from watching an abuser, then he would not have been taking care of his mother, right? He wouldn't have a heart and want to take care of her. That doesn't make any sense. That's not the way that usually works. I get a little satisfaction knowing how badly this has backfired on her. Yes. Okay, so let's go to the next video, which is Thrifty Angela, what I was talking about earlier, which is, so she got herself caught up today because there is audio that is opposite of what she testified to. So this is about 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I'll have to pause it and kind of do some commentary and talk because I don't want to get copyright stricken. So we're going to kind of talk through this audio, but we're about to find out that while she was on stand and telling a certain story, she had already testified, and there is already a leaked audio that has her speaking, and the story does not match up to what she testified on stand. And I don't know, I know Thrifty Angela, you said you didn't see much of today, but the incident where Johnny's finger got cut off, we really didn't know her story until today. His story was that she threw the vodka bottle and that it hit the tip of his finger off. She is claiming, and I got to figure out how to say this YouTube friendly wise. She is now suddenly claiming that he went into a rage and that he used the bottle repeatedly to SA her. And that's how he ultimately ended up hurting his finger with the bottle, because he was so violent while doing that to her with the bottle that it broke and cut his finger. That is her current claim. But we're about to hear audio that's going to show that that's nowhere near true, and she's on the audio. So let's watch that now. And like I said, I'm gonna have to talk over it a bit, but let's go to it. Now, we're not going to hear her testimony and what she said today, so that's why I filled you in on that part. But we're going to hear the audio, and we're going to hear. So the doctor, Dr. Kipling, and then Johnny Depp's security guard. I don't know why it automatically starts playing like that. And then Johnny Depp's security guard. Now, she was claiming that she was severely injured, and you would be severely injured if what I just said happened with a vodka bottle, okay? And she is claiming on stand today that she was severely injured. However, we're about to hear that she was not. She was not severely injured, that she just had a couple scratches. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind that she said she was severely injured. Her nightgown was ripped. There would be blood everywhere, et cetera, but that's not what we're about to hear. Can't wait for all that settlement money to go back to Depp. What a filthy lying. Hey, Shaka. Okay, Shako. Sorry, my English today. Hold on one second. Not getting her way if they kept it up. Bet she'd have flipped out. I can't believe 3 million people have signed that petition to get her off Aquaman. Oh, I know. There's a new petition out again to get Johnny back onto. Well, we'll watch that next. I got another clip I wanted to watch with everybody. So let me make sure I shared audio. Hold on. I'm not sure I shared audio. So let me share audio on this. Here we go. All right. And then let's watch this.
This is Amber in a video she herself recorded of the actual Australian incident where she admits to have caused a lot of damage consisting of broken glass. But yesterday, while sobbing her heart out,
I remember looking around the room. I remember looking at all the broken bottles.
she claimed that she couldn't remember anything except broken glass everywhere while she accused Johnny of making that mess. This new audio also has her admitting to hurting Johnny.
I love him. I never meant to hurt him. Is there anything we can give her? Says the nurse. That went too fast. Sorry.
and feeling so sorry because she didn't want to lose him. But yesterday, during court, she claimed Johnny was the one who assaulted her and hurt her.
You're gonna kill me and you won't even have realized it.
While listening through the entire recording, no one is talking about Amber's injuries, but are all concerned about Johnny.
I'm really concerned because he's got a lot of paint. Remember when I don't know if you all know or not, but he took his finger that was cut off and stuck it in paint. A lot of pain. Paint. He got a lot of pain. Also, blue paint, you saw it.
The doctors present, Dr. Kipper and Debbie Lloyd, who are members of Amber's medical team, looked and sound concerned for Johnny's severed tip and how it might infect it, but don't talk about Amber's so-called horrifying injuries. Johnny's head of security at the time, Jerry Judge, says on the phone that Johnny is the priority at the moment and not Amber.
What I do not want to do at the moment is...
So here's where, like, and sorry, I have to keep cutting into this because I don't want to just play their video. But here's where, if she was you would be bleeding there if the things that she said happened. And this is the audio where his security said, "What I do not want to do at the moment is jeopardize what we're doing with Johnny because his finger comes first." So they were prioritizing injuries at this point. Who was most injured and what needed to be handled first. And we're about to find out what injuries they saw on her.
Jeopardize what we're doing with Johnny because his finger comes first. And you know what? Seriously, no. If she has to stay here an extra 24 hours to get him sorted out, fuck it, she stays here for another 24 hours if we have to. Because Johnny's more important.
The only injury on her is scratches on her arm, which Jerry believes are self-inflicted.
So I don't know where they were talking about leaving her for the 24 hours. I don't know if they were agreeing to leave her in the apartment or the penthouse versus making her leave or locking her up. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But here's where he says she has scratches on her left arm, which Debbie talked about. I looked at it.
Debbie told me about. I've looked at it. I've seen those scratches before on other people.
And I've seen those scratches before on other people. And as far as I'm concerned, they're self-inflicted. So she had like just scratches on her arm. Again, remember what she said happened on stand. And this is him talking on recording right after this particular incident that she's talking about. That it's not adding up. Anybody else think it's not adding up?
Hold on a minute. They're self-inflicted. I'm convinced about it. They're self-inflicted.
If Amber had had any serious and horrifying visible injuries on her arms or legs, as she claims, someone would have mentioned it, or even she herself, but no one throughout the entire recorded clip is heard mentioning it. And she's even heard sympathizing with Johnny. Yesterday, she claims that this incident happened at night, and the next morning, another incident happened of Johnny peeing on walls.
Johnny took his out of his pants and started.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this part that's coming up. So her timeline's not even right. As rehearsed as this whole thing is that that she did on stand, and she said that this happened at night and then this happened and da. We're about to find out that her timeline wasn't even right. So hang on and watch this.
Started trying to pee or peeing outside of the house.
But the new audio proves that the incident happened early morning and Johnny left the premises and was in the hospital getting his finger pieced back together.
He's awake, I presume he's awake, that's what they're saying. Alan said he just left the hotel, so I'm assuming he's awake. For them to take him down there to have it done. And I will say, it is true, the quicker you get it done, the quicker it takes. They'll hear what the luck will go. Okay?
The audio also shows that Amber admits to having gotten angry with Depp and that she was the first to punch him in the face.
And she admitted also that she hit him first. She actually hit him in the face. She admits to me she threw first. She threw a bottle. She hit first.
But during her testimony yesterday, she claimed Johnny to have been the starter of their argument and that she'd never heard him. What makes us believe that Amber is actually lying is the fact that this new audio is the audio she herself had recorded. Before submitting it as evidence,
This is the best part. This is the audio she recorded herself, the audio that she submitted herself. She and her team, they all know this audio exists, yet her story doesn't even match her own audio.
in 2016, meaning it's not manipulated or anything. But when it's cross-checked with all the stories she formulated yesterday, it just doesn't match up. The audio also shows that she herself had indulged in drug use. From the beginning of the trials, she's been denying use of drugs. Amber is no longer believable anymore, and we know.
Did you all see that? This woman that's been up on the stage, on the stage. I say stage. It is a stage for her. Up on the stand testifying about how she didn't use drugs and she's trying to save him and da da da. Yet she was doing coke and ecstasy and Adderall and hallucinogens. Like what? And this, as Thrifty Angela said right there, she submitted it herself. This audio was submitted by her.
No longer know what other lies she would concord in the next trial. Anyways, stay tuned as we continue.
All right, so what do you guys think of that? That's pretty crazy, huh? That was the audio I was talking about that came out today. I think it was publicly probably available already, but putting two and two together with her testifying today to the things that she testified and then putting that audio with her testimony, whoa. She just got herself in a whole lot of trouble. Truth always comes out, something the filth always learns in the end. I agree. Yeah, they would be worried and taking care of her if her story was true. Yes, right? Like, not even, okay, this is going to sound horrible when I say this, but let's pretend for a second that Johnny Depp actually did those nasty things to her, okay? And these are his bodyguards, and they are the people that she says they are, where they're just doing whatever he wants because he pays them, and they'll do whatever he wants because he pays them, right? So let's pretend her story there is correct, and he did these horrible things to her. Don't you think that audio that we just heard from that night would be them talking about, oh my gosh, we got to get this, we got to figure out how to cover this up. We got to spoil her. We got to get her all cleaned up. We got to make sure this is all taken care of so boss don't get in trouble. Wouldn't that be the audio that we would be hearing from that night if what she says happened? Wouldn't that be more of what we were hearing? I would think so, if all of the things she was saying were true. He should have had his chainmail gauntlets when dealing with that heathen witch. Not adding up at all. Not at all. Her stories haven't added up since it started. Exactly like the Milani makeup. The very beginning of the trial, her attorneys held up a makeup palette thingy and kept saying over and over again, she used this to cover up her bruises. You're going to find out how. You're going to know how she used this to hide what was happening, and this exact one, Right after that very night on TikTok, Milani came out and showed that product that they were claiming she used didn't come out until 2017. So the product that they were claiming all of this with wasn't even out. So their opening argument was already a lie. Like, mind blowing. She is guilty as heck. I agree. I love what Judge Judy says all the time. If you're telling the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Exactly. Her stories are falling apart because she's lying. While she submitted it, it is a stage for her. Yeah. I slipped up and said stage, but literally that's what it is, a stage. She's full of crap. She's desperate now. I just hate that she is now going to make women out there who are actually being abused are now going to be doubted. Ugh, pisses me off. Sadly, here's the problem. Sadly, women already are doubted. Sadly, women are not believed. That's why they don't talk about it. That's why they don't seek help. Even when they do seek help, there's really not a whole lot that can be done. The Me Too movement that happened, it breaks my heart because the Me Too movement could have been a good thing, but people like Amber and other people took it and abused it and used it completely in a wrong way and made it to where it's even worse now when it could have been something that was so good and so positive. I'm going to give a little more information out about my circumstance. I'm going to start to talk more freely about my situation, and here and now is when I'm going to do that. My ex has kept me in court. We've been divorced for 7 years now. My ex told me if I ever left, he would make my life a living hell. And he has used the justice system as a way to continue to abuse me, period, point blank. And because we live in a free country, he can do that. He can file as many charges as he wants to file. He can, and they're all false. That nothing that he has filed thus far has come to fruition as being true in any way, shape, or form. But everything has to go in front of a judge and be heard and then dismissed and so on and so forth. And so even if abusers can't lay their hands on you, there are other ways that they can continue to abuse throughout, there's other ways they can continue to do it. And unfortunately, Johnny Depp has gone through this as well. And something I'm finding very interesting watching this court case is the lawyers. Okay, so in my situation, I see a lot of similarities between how Amber Heard's lawyers act and how someone else's lawyers act. And it's interesting to see. And it makes me wonder if a judge can immediately tell when the system starts getting rolling like that, who's what, just by the judges, by the attorney's behaviors. But yeah, I mean, strangely enough, the judicial system can even be used to abuse people at this point, and it is sad, and more needs to be done. And I think that the Me Too movement was headed in that direction, but unfortunately people got in there and did the wrong thing with it, sadly. It also makes me so mad that if a guy is even accused of abuse, he's fired and attacked. However, we know now she's been lying this whole time, and that's why people want her off of Aquaman. Correct. Very, very true. You're so right, BB. It's sad. She's just making it worse. It does break my heart. She is. I do think that either party, whether that be a female or a male, should have to prove it. And most people that are going through abuse do not document what they're going through because they don't realize they're going through it. So it becomes very hard to prove it. But I think that psychologists, I think that other people witness and know. So I think that there's enough ways that they can kind of pull that proof together if absolutely needed. But once it's proven, I think that there should be more things put in place for protection for the people that this has happened to, whether that be male or female, either way. I'm so sorry, BB. I hate that you're still dealing with him. Oh, it's okay. You know what? I have, how do I say this? I have found happiness and freedom, and no matter what gets pulled, I will still continue to be happy and free. So it can all keep going and I will be okay. I would think at some point judges should be able to do something to stop the, what they do is they start charging money. They start charging fees. And eventually they hope that in charging those fees that the person will not want to continue to have to pay the fees for what they're doing. And hopefully they will stop. But that doesn't always work, unfortunately. All right, let's go to our next clip. So, like a lot of these videos and things like that, he's out there watching. It's kind of weird. But yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting watching this trial, and it kind of hits pretty close to home for me. But it is very interesting to see the way the lawyers act. It does very much help me to kind of understand things more for myself in my situation. All right, so we have Amber destroyed my friend from Orlando Bloom. And this is Orlando Bloom speaks on Johnny Depp. And I kind of watched the beginning of it. And then I paused it here where we're going to talk about the petitions. So Orlando Bloom, basically back when the divorce happened, he was willing to say, hey, this is my friend and he's the same person he's always been. And it's unfortunate that this is now being drawn out in the public because this isn't who he ever wanted to be. He was mysterious and he was private, and it's sad what's happening to him. And so that's kind of his take on it and how he felt about it. And then right where I paused it, it's going to talk about the petitions that are now currently out to try to get Johnny back onto Pirates of the Caribbean. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and we could watch that as well. Let me grab it and pull it up here.
for Johnny Depp openly, fans still think it isn't enough. Many fans were disappointed to hear Disney removed Johnny Depp from the Pirates of the Caribbean film franchise. Their decision was a result of the ongoing legal debacle between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard. Interestingly, however, Amber Heard has not yet been fired from any of her projects.
And that's exactly what you were talking about, Thrifty Angela, is that it's strange. She hasn't been fired from any of her jobs, but he's been fired from all.
Depp, on the other hand, has also been removed from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. As the actor battles in court over a defamation case against Amber Heard, fans are now eager to have Johnny Depp reinstated as Jack Sparrow. Now fans have launched petitions in an effort to convince Disney that Johnny Depp should be brought back as Jack Sparrow for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. The first of our 2 listed Jack Sparrow petitions was created by a user named Femke. They wrote the following description to catch Disney's attention. I want to keep Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow because he made the films extra fun, and I just can't think about a Pirates 6 without Johnny Depp. At the time of posting this video, the petition has earned nearly 41,000 signatures. The second petition has been gaining steam, and that was created by another user, Riza Saduki. This petition so far has
I think it's amazing how many people have signed these petitions, but also, can you have you all watched the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? Are they movies that you guys are into? Good for you. You being happy probably just pisses him off. Probably. But thank you. I appreciate that very much, Thrifty Angela. It's very sweet of you. I don't know how they would make Pirates 6 without Captain Jack. Like, he is such an intricate part of the series. I don't understand how they would continue it on without him. And not only that, like, he's a major part of all the Disney, the rides and all of it. So I find it hard to understand how they would even do that. You've seen all of them. Same here. 50 Angela said impossible. I agree. Let's see what else they have to say.
over 750,000 signatures, and it's quickly nearing 1 million. After giving context for why Johnny Depp is such an important part of Jack Sparrow and the Pirates franchise, they wrote the following. Don't they know that without Johnny Depp or Jack Sparrow, they will sink? They will never be able to reach that horizon. Even if it means nothing to you, but please sign this petition for the ones who really want Johnny Depp as their captain of the Black Pearl. They have to bring him back to rule the seas again, unless it is the actor's own choice to withdraw from this role. It's worth mentioning that Johnny Depp has already stated he won't appear as Jack Sparrow again. According to him, he felt betrayed by Disney after they fired him. While it's understandable, it's possible that with enough fan support, even he could be convinced to return.
I agree with that. I can see why he would feel so very betrayed and let down. But also, maybe after everything calms down and maybe he would go back. Maybe he would reconsider that. And Uncle Lisa, you made me giggle very much so. There's only one Captain Jack, and Johnny Depp isn't him. Captain Jack Scrapper it is. That's funny. No one can play that part but Depp, and it won't be the same without Sparrow. I agree. I totally get how he feels that way. It probably really hurt him. Yeah, I mean, I'm no actor, but like I said, going through something very similar. Just as a normal person, that you have family, like even just going through like a divorce, you have family and friends, right? And you lose a lot of those family and friends going through a divorce. And there's no coming back from that. There's no forgiving that. And the hurt and the pain that that causes is kind of unbearable at times. And so I can imagine that, you know, being with a company like Disney and working with them on so many films, that it would be like family, you know, and family not believing you or trusting you. And that would be heartbreaking. Roy and Becky said, we've been in a similar situation to BB3. I hate hearing that. I do find comfort in knowing that I am not alone. But I do hate hearing that other people have felt that, that kind of pain. So I have a few more questions before we wrap up here. So anyone that's watching the court stuff, and by the way, hello, She Devil Adventures. Hello, hello. So what do we think about Amber Heard's psychological evaluation person or specialist that she brought in? What are you all thinking about that person? I got my thoughts, but what did you all think about her? I want to know. Did you like her? Were you surprised by anything she said or did? What do y'all think? Roy and Becky, quack. Said quack. I didn't like her. We all know, Uncle Lisa, we all know that you are only down for Miss, what is her name? Is it Cook? Johnny's psychiatrist lady. We all know you like her, but I was wondering about the other one. It's obvious Amber's elevator doesn't go to the top. Yeah, no, it doesn't. You know what else? Like throughout this whole thing, I keep thinking is she's already been charged with domestic violence. Like she has old charges from her previous relationship of domestic violence. Like, doesn't that kind of tell you something? Plus on these tapes where in her testimonies, she's saying that he was hitting her and that he was being wild and yelling and getting in her face and doing this and doing that. But then on all of these tapes, you hear her being loud and not letting him leave and blah, blah, blah. And she said, she in her testimony is saying that he wouldn't let her leave, but that's not what you hear in the tapes at all. I don't know. I'm so confused on how she thinks this is going to work out. Like, can she not hear what's coming out of her mouth? I don't know. Terrible. I came here for the other psychological person, Carolyn Bacon. Yeah, Johnny's lady was gorgeous. And then, oh my gosh, when the Amber Heard's lawyers were doing the questioning for their psychological specialist, they were questioning her, and the lady kept saying the other lady's name. She kept calling her the other doctor's name, and the lady got annoyed on stand with the lawyer, and I was like, this is turned into one clown mess. Like, it is a disaster. I've never seen a court be such a disaster. Then they dismissed a witness. Okay, so there was a witness that was up on the stand, and she was telling what she had seen. And there was Amber Heard's friend sitting with Amber's lawyers, and she told Amber's lawyers something that she saw on her phone, okay? And so Amber Heard's lawyers tell the judge that the girl on the witness stand has seen parts of the trial. And so the judge asked the lady said yes, and then they dismiss her from the trial and tell her she can't testify then because she's seen parts of the trial. Turns out she hadn't seen parts of that trial. She had seen parts of the other trial. And the lady that was reporting this to Amber's lawyers wasn't even supposed to be on her phone and gave them false information. And she ends up getting kicked out of the court because of the whole thing. Like, what? This is a mess, a complete mess. I've never seen anything so messy. I feel like her lawyers went through several and picked the one that was going to say anything that would help Amber. Yeah, I feel like there are certain psychiatrists out there who have the mindset of believe and don't question ever. And I think that is a really bad mindset to have because, like I said, there are going to be people that are going to make things up because that's part of what makes them feel good or whole because of the trauma that they've been through. And if you're really there to help them, you're going to want to question. You're going to want to make sure what they're saying is real. And you can't help them if you're not getting to the truth of the matter. Shannon Curry. Is that her name, Shannon Curry? I couldn't remember if it was Curry, Cook, something like that. I knew it started with a C. Definitely a mess. Hey, Rally Creative Travel. Hello, hello. Johnny should have been given an Amber alert. She's crazy. That is fantastic. Rally's Creative Travel. Next time I do a Johnny and Amber stream, can I please use your joke as my title? That would be fantastic as far as a title. That is a good one. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I understand everyone's views of people and things are different. However, I feel like the psychologist was totally off. I do too. I think she is one of those people that truly just instantly believes, because there are certain people that believe you never question a victim ever. If a person says they're a victim, period. However, unfortunately, that's not true. People lie. I saw that online today, so I didn't come up with it. I thought it was a good one. It is definitely a good one. Hey, Linda Barker, I'm late, had internet issues. Oh, I'm so sorry you had internet issues. I got probably another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to wrap it up here. I also want to know what everybody thought of the older gentleman who, I can't remember if he's the accountant or the CPA or like the lawyer, or not lawyer. He was the older gentleman for Johnny Depp. He was very much grandpa-ish, and he knew all of the money side of how much money was being spent. He went in and did an expert opinion on how much money was being spent, and it turned out that Amber Heard was spending. She was doing 2 bottles of wine a day, and the bottles of wine she was doing was $500 a bottle. And so in just the year that Johnny Depp was married to her, he had spent like a fortune just on wine alone. But that poor man was in tears. Like, the other lawyers were so mean to that man, they had him in tears. Did anyone else watch that part, and how did you feel about it? That broke my heart for that man because he did not deserve that. And then the other one I wanted to ask everybody about, the other person I wanted to ask everybody about was the doorman. Who all watched the doorman's test when he testified? The doorman was the man that was in his car. What was his name? Let me see if I can remember his name. I gotta Google it. Johnny Depp doorman. Alejandro Ramirez, I think is how you say it. Let me see if I can find a clip of his testimony. Because he was done. He was done with the nonsense. Johnny Depp was laughing. All right, I found a little clip that we'll go to and we'll watch it real quick. Let me get it. Hold up here. I might treat myself to a good bottle once in a while, but not 2 a day. Yeah, she was doing 2 a day, and then her friends like were living there too, so it was all being paid for by Johnny. It was crazy. There's so much more we could talk about on this, but I've already been talking for over an hour, so I kind of feel like I'm taking up a lot of y'all's time. But I do want you to hear this and see this doorman, because he was not acting like this. Hold on, let me say this first. He was being very polite and calm for the first bit of the testimony, or like the first bit of questioning. But the lawyer, her lawyers, kept asking him about makeup over and over and over again. And he had it. He had already answered those questions about 100 times, and he had just gotten sick of it. The doorman did it. Did I solve the mystery? I haven't watched the trial, but wanted to say hi. Hi, Adventures in Xanadu. Thanks so much. I feel she was using him as a sugar daddy. I do too. But the doorman like really was patient. Like, not only did they ask about makeup, they were like, would you know what kind of mascara she was wearing? Would you know what kind of lipstick she was wearing? Would you know what kind of blush she was wearing? And he was like, I don't know what kind of makeup she was. No, I don't know. I don't know. But the reason that these questions were being asked is because he saw her face to face the day after, 2 days after, allegedly she was punched in the face or whatever. And he never saw a single injury on her face. And they were trying to prove that because he didn't know anything about makeup, then he wouldn't know if she covered up the bruises. And he's like, there was no bruise, there was no swelling. But now you understand where he was mentally at this point that I'm about to start this video, because this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And when he got done, the judge was like, I've never seen anything like this. But he testified via like a tele testimony, like on the phone. Okay. And a reminder, he was frustrated. They had gotten him really, really frustrated. So we're going to watch his little testimony part of it really quick. Why would the doorman know what type of makeup she was wearing? Right? Exactly. All right. And that's what he was getting frustrated with. So here we go.
So the incident was May 21st, 2016. You saw her the night of May 25th, correct?
Correct.
You said that you saw Amber Heard hundreds of times while she was there. Did Amber Heard treat you well, and was she friendly to you in each of these hundreds of times?
Yes. I'm not gonna say no, because she was really always nice.
All right, this is my last.
Be nice.
All right, this is my last question. You testified in response to Mr. Presidio's questions that you testified truthfully in all of these occasions. Did you testify truthfully to everything that you testified in response to my questions today?
That's correct.
All right.
I did.
All right, it's a good time to break for lunch. We'll just break a little early, so.
Let me see if I can get one more shot of him. Here we go.
Johnny Depp's defamation case against his ex-wife Amber Heard continues to make headlines, not like that, but like this week. So we'll take a minute to break down a few bombshells that we definitely did not see coming.
Oh, didn't see any of.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Like, really?
That's what you were about to say.
Let me see if I can get to. Here we go.
Became a resident sometime around March 2016.
Don't remember.
Could you tell me one way or the other?
I just can't remember. Like I said, it's been so long, I just don't remember. And like, I know you guys sent me the papers to review, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to review them because it's been so long. It's like, just don't want to deal with this anymore. Yes, I went through the witness statement, and it's everything that is written there. That's what I said.
Do you know whether Mr. Depp had ever been physically violent with Amber Heard? And by this, I mean hitting, punching, throwing objects at her, kicking her, headbutting her. Do you know one way or the other whether Mr. Depp ever did that to Ms. Heard?
Nope.
Have you ever seen Mr. Depp slam things around or be angry?
No, I have never seen him like that.
Ever Heard treat you well, and was she friendly to you in each of these hundreds of times?
Yes. I'm not gonna say no because she was really always nice.
Well, I was looking for the other part, but the other part is that, so not only did he end up driving because he was just like, I'm done, and he starts driving, but he started vaping at one point. Like, they stressed him out to the point that man picked up his vape and started vaping while testifying. I was like, this poor man. And he's even saying, I'm done. I didn't review it. I didn't review the documents you sent me. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm done. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any bruises. I didn't nothing. Just leave me alone. People got lives. Like, he literally said that. If you guys have not seen his testimony, there is a lot of clips of it. I'm sure his whole testimony is up. 30 Angela says, I saw that. I laughed so hard, right? He was like so down to earth and so just like blunt. He was done, fed up with the whole thing. But if you have not seen it, I definitely recommend it. It is a once in a lifetime thing. I don't think that has probably ever happened in a trial ever. And he has been regarded as a hero for the way that he testified in this case, in the way that he dealt with her lawyers. Seriously though, if your wife is drinking 2 bottles of wine a day, you think she'd be pretty chill and wearing lingerie? You would think, or like passed out somewhere, right? She kept talking about the drugs that she did were just like the happy, the calm drugs. What? I thought you didn't know anything about drugs. Now you know which ones are the happy and the calm drugs. What? The contradictions. Insane. 30 Angela. Johnny is smiling and laughing. Love it. Oh, that's right. Let me see if I can find this and we'll close it out with this. But both PR teams came out with statements today. The PR statements from Depp and Amber Heard. They both came out with statements. And it's kind of crazy. As much as Amber Heard supposedly is afraid of Johnny Depp, it's kind of a little bit strange that she wants her team is talking about why he's not looking at her. Usually the victim doesn't look at their abuser. I mean, seriously, that's a thing. So let me see if I can get to their quote. Okay, so as Mr. Depp's counsel correctly predicted in their opening statements last month, let me see. I think this is Mr. Depp's. Their respective teams both issued statements after Heard's explosive testimony on Thursday, in which she accused Depp 58 of SA. All right. So, spokesperson for Depp tells People, as Mr. Depp's counsel correctly predicted in their opening statements last month, Ms. Heard did indeed deliver the performance of her life in her direct examination. While Ms. Heard's stories have continued to grow new and convenient details, Mr. Depp's recollections have remained exactly the same throughout the 6 painful years since her first allegations were made. His truth, the truth, is the same no matter the environment in which it is presented. The upcoming cross-examination from Mr. Depp's team will be most telling and will certainly highlight the many falsities Ms. Heard has now attempted to pass off as fact throughout her convoluted testimony. So that was Johnny Depp's team's statement today, okay? And then Amber Heard's team came out with a statement as well. I'm going to read that in just 1 second. I was reminded of something that I wanted to say. Oh, well. Okay, I'm going to read her team's statement. In response, a spokesperson for Amber Heard said, as evidenced by the statement just released, Mr. Depp's defamation claim is falling apart so rapidly that his counsel are turning from prosecutor to persecutor. They boast that Mr. Depp's story has not changed. If so, since he lost the domestic violence restraining order and he resoundingly lost the libel case in the UK, perhaps he should consider a new strategy rather than the recycled approach of attacking the victim and refusing to take responsibility for his own conduct. If Mr. Depp was truly innocent, why has he repeatedly apologized to Miss Heard and promised to put the monster away for good? Heard's spokesperson says, adding that one of Heard's disappointments is the Pirates of the Caribbean's actors' inability to distinguish fact from fiction, a malady which appears to have spread to his legal team. That same team is so panicked. Now, this is still her team's statement, PR statement, okay? That same team is so panicked, they are fighting tooth and nail to prevent compelling evidence and photos from being introduced. Small wonder Mr. Depp does not have the fortitude or courage to even look at Miss Heard at all throughout the proceedings, as he could not in the UK trial, and instead he doodles and snickers. Mr. Depp's behavior in the trial has been as pitiful as it was in their marriage. Apparently, they feel they must double down on their demonstrably losing two-part strategy, distract the jury, and demonize the victim. So that is the two sides, the PR team's statements. I think it's very telling that Johnny Depp does not look at Amber Heard, because when you are a victim of domestic violence, you do not want to see the person who has hurt you violently. You don't. And that is why he is not looking at her. I find it weird that they would want him to look at her, or that she would want him to look at her. I find that strange. Also, something that she did on stand today was she mentioned when her sister was standing at the top of the stairs, she had a moment where she thought of Kate Moss, and then the sister was facing her and her back was to the stairs. In that moment, the camera went over to Johnny Depp and his lawyer, and the lawyer went, yes, and turned around to the other lawyer. Apparently something she said right then and there, and the news has talked about this quite often, something she said, whether it be Kate Moss. Now Kate Moss is Johnny Depp's ex girlfriend as well. So whether it be Kate Moss situation, whether it be the way the sister was facing on the stairs, something that was said right there was a direct contradiction or lie to something else, and it is about to get her caught up in something very big. So it will be interesting when Johnny Depp's lawyers get to cross-examine her, be watching for that particular statement to be brought up and her to be questioned about it. Kate Moss, the top of the stairs with her sister, and her sister's back to the stairs. And this is when Amber hits Johnny Depp. That was the story that she gave today. There is going to be a huge piece of evidence or contradiction, or something's going to be proven that she was lying on the stand. You could tell by the way that the lawyers were reacting, and they've kind of shown that in clips today. So that was another little piece of evidence I found today, or a clip I found today. Thrifty Angela said, I find that extremely strange too. I agree. Is Amber actor John Hurd's daughter? You know what? I don't think so. I think that she came from a very poor family. No, actually, I know she came from a poor family. The money that she would earn, she would send back. And she was actually a stripper prior to being an actress, which most actresses don't make it if they were a stripper prior to being actresses, unfortunately. But with Johnny Depp's help, she was able to succeed. And this is the thanks he's getting. Ugh, imagine. Dang, I'm going to have to start watching the trial. You really piqued my interest. Great job, dude. Thanks. I will do another roundup like this soon. I don't know exactly what day. The next 2 Sundays, I will not be doing Murder Mystery Haunted History with Nettie. This Sunday is Mother's Day, and the following Sunday, my son graduates high school. So I will not be able to do the lives on the next 2 Sundays, but I will try to maybe do, some streams to kind of catch up on the Johnny Depp stuff in the meantime. But I enjoyed chatting with all of you guys about this tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me on a Friday night. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all of you moms out there. And Uncle Lisa, thank you for staying up all night with us. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate you staying up the other night, or waking up the other night for the Captain Jack stuff too. So congratulations to my son. I will definitely tell him one graduated last year, another one graduating this year, and I have one more to go. So, but thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Wishing you all much kindness and much love. I'll catch up with you all again soon. Bye for now.